Hey, get the payday. You want payday? I know that Canelo Alvarez does it. Shocking new comments from Mr. Alvarez ahead of his September fight with Terence Bud Crawford. They did their first press conference, and Canelo said something I found interesting, which is a great segue into today's video and what I want to talk about. So I'm going to take y'all through it. Let's get ready. So for the press conference, you know, Canelo's there, Bud Crawford was there, and they did exclusive interviews with The Ring. Canelo says that he doesn't think Bud has enough power to gain his true respect and keep him honest and he didn't say keep him honest, but he said keep him off. So he says obviously not. I don't think that his power is going to be on that. Roll the clip.
Do you think Terence Crawford's going to have enough power to gain your respect and keep you off of him?
No, obviously not. In my mind, I never think about that. You know, I'm a very strong fighter, and I never thinking about that.
Do you think Terence Crawford's going to have enough power to gain your respect and keep you off of him?
No, obviously not. In my
To gain your respect and keep you off of him?
No, obviously not. In my mind, I never think about that. You know, I'm a very strong fighter, and I never thinking about that.
Do you?
Now you guys see why I don't fancy this fight. Now you see it. I know the haters, the Bud buddies, they was mad. They was like, oh, Boxingego, why do you want to see this fight? Don't worry about it. Shut up. I could watch what I want to watch. I could talk about what I... Listen, it's so funny, too. Let me talk about it. I don't care for this fight, right? But I'm still going to talk about it. And y'all can't do nothing about it. I'm a businessman. You know that because you find me at my place as a business. A lot of you are beta males, sensitive and emotional. I am a business owner. I make content. I'm a content creator, dummy. I make content. So with that being said, this is just content for me. It's always business. It's never nothing personal. I'm the Nino Brown. Sit your 5 down before I make change. I'm the Nino Brown of boxing. I'm going to talk about whatever the F I want to talk about. Somebody left a comment, oh, Ego, stop talking about it if you don't like the fight. Yeah, no. Because they're boxing fans, just because I personally don't like something, but I own a business, it don't mean I'm not going to talk about it, right? If they change my mind and put up a great fight and it's amazing, I'll give them credit. You know what I mean? But it's a business. That's what you guys have to understand. And just because I personally don't like something as a business owner doesn't mean my audience doesn't want to hear the latest and greatest. I have an obligation to you, the fans, who have been rocking with me over the years. It's no different. So if you had a taqueria and you had a Mexican restaurant and personally you don't like tortas and you don't like flautas, right? Does that mean you know how to make them and you can make them fire? Does that mean you don't put tortas and flautas on the menu for your business just because you personally don't care for it, right? I know people who own restaurants that don't eat meat or certain types of meat for religious reasons, but they can still cook it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a vegetarian, pescatarian, but people like a hamburger. So my restaurant offers it. I mean, the level of stupidity on the internet is crazy. Thinking y'all going to stop me from talking about what I want to talk about. But that's the ego rant. I'm done with it. This is why I didn't want to see the fight. Canelo talking his talk. Okay. He talking about he don't have enough power. Crawford's not going to have enough power to keep him off him, right? Which could be the case. I guess we have to wait and see how Crawford's power develops in a foreign division that he's never been in. And we just have to wait and imagine what is going to happen. But I really think this fight is going to be a letdown from the undercard, the way it's being promoted, and just my premonitions of it. I have bad vibes, and my intuition normally doesn't set me wrong. It is what it is. And if Canelo's being truthful, which I think he is, he says, I never think of it like that. I'm very strong. I'm a strong fighter. I don't think he has the power. But why are you fighting him then? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. Why are you fighting him? Another former welterweight, former lower division. So you had all this time to acclimate to the higher weight classes. Years, almost a decade, you've been higher than 160. And he got it. He's never had no pro fights. A lot of the Bud buddies, they get mad. They're like, oh, but I seen him in sparring and he was fighting light heavyweights and cruiserweight. I don't care about no sparring. I've seen people look great in sparring and then get knocked out in their actual fight. I've seen it with my own too, right? Where somebody was looking like a stud, a superstar in sparring. And I'm like, okay, they training and they coming with it. Then I went to their fight, right? I'm not going to say no names. Then I went to their fight with that in tow, with that in mind, and watched them get knocked out. Seen it time and time. So I don't care about no sparring. Stop telling me about sparring. Sparring is this big, right? And then all these infamous sparring stories, it's like you don't even know who the people are. Like, oh, Crawford whooped a heavyweight. Who? He fought Usyk? Because Crawford went on Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. He went on their podcast talking about, why should I fight David Benavidez? I'm not fighting him, pretty much, because he'll rehydrate to 200 pounds, right? And he a big dude, and he big, and I might as well move up to heavyweight. Huh? So stop telling me about Crawford fought heavyweights and sparring. I don't care about that, because he just told you he pretty much don't want to fight David Benavidez because he's too big. So I don't like the fight. It is what it is. Both fighters, I will give them credit. They both sound confident at the press conference. They both, like, what they were actually saying sounds confident. And, we'll see how that plays out. But we'll see if something changes. But I'm not feeling this, because Jermell Charlo was the man at 154. He did the travel up with way more fights at 154, right, than Terence Crawford, who has won, and he looked beatable, right? And he couldn't do nothing with Canelo. So one of a few things. Either this fight is going to look the same. That's one option. Option two is you think Terence Crawford is light years ahead of Jermell Charlo in pretty much every category: size, power, ring IQ, and durability. Like, he's just such a next level fighter that he's going to make a difference that Jermell Charlo a couple years ago couldn't do. Or three, you think Canelo is washed, which the timing gives Crawford more of an advantage than the version a couple years ago that Charlo fought. It has to be one of the three, maybe even a couple of those. You know what I mean? So I'm curious how they're going to sell this fight. I don't see the buzz that they're talking about. Like, they keep saying, oh, it's the biggest fight of the century, this, that, and the third. But then Canelo's like, oh, obviously he can't hurt me. I mean, but you wouldn't say that if you fought David Benavidez. And if you did, no one would believe you. And that fight would be way bigger. So I stand on what I've always said, not a fan of this fight. David Benavidez is who Canelo should be fighting. And Crawford should be fighting a litany of different people at 54. Virgil Ortiz, Boots just moving up, right? Murtazaev, Jermell Charlo, Fundora, Tim Tszyu, maybe even an Errol rematch. All these would be great fights, but this is what boxing gives us. Shame.